Hi guys, welcome back to pRide. My name is Matt and I hope you're going to enjoy rebuilding my Ducati 748. So let's get stuck in. Okay, so this is the engine. It's finally back. It's been with Ray Petty Mechanica for I think just over a few weeks. It's been completely cleaned, reassembled and brought to my doorstep actually. So big thumbs up to Ray at Ray Petty Mechanica. If you are in and around London and you need anything done on your Ducati or Moto Guzzi, I recommend you guys going to Ray. You know, you're gonna get a fantastic service for sure. So as I was saying, the engine is back, so finally we can move on with the rebuild. If you follow my Instagram, you've seen that I've been dry fitting all the components, or as many components as possible, just to make sure that I was able to spot and identify those parts that needed replacing. Now there's a few items that I'm still waiting for. Parts will arrive, I just don't know when exactly, so for the time being I'm gonna have to deal with what I've got here and do whatever jobs I can do with the parts that I received. So I'm just going to take you through the parts that I've got and what I can and cannot do right now. Okay, so here we go. These are the parts that I've ordered and that have arrived to date. As I was saying, there's a couple more, but for the time being I can start doing some of these jobs. First, I've ordered from EBC Brakes a set of brake lines, a new rear disc and new brake pads. But before I could move on to finishing the brake system, I needed to get a set of these. This is a front brake rebuild kit. Secondly, we move on to the forks. I obviously have some fork oil, and then we have a set of bushings and seals, oil seals and dust seals. So that's the forks. Moving on to here, we've got a headstock bearing kit from Old Balls Bearings. I've been using these for this brand at least for the last few years on all my bikes. Never had a problem with them. Then we've got the rear shock pivot or linkage. We need to replace the bearings, and the reason is because I don't know if you can tell, but these are pretty manky. There's a bit of rust that's developed in it, so we've got a new set of bearings with the seals. One of the parts that I've ordered is another one of these. This is the sleeve that goes inside the bearings, and the reason is because of these wear. So I thought I'd just replace this as I'm rebuilding the whole bike. As I said, this hasn't arrived yet, and because it wasn't in stock, the company that I've ordered it from, which is a German company. By the way, shout out to this company here. It's pronounced Tyndin. So here's the website. I've made an order on a Friday or a Saturday actually, and they got it shipped on a Monday and arrived here on a Tuesday. So you know, can't really complain about them considering all the coronavirus lockdown and restrictions. So anyways, I've got the bearings and I'm only missing these, so for the purpose of this rebuild, for the moment, if I get around to building to doing all the other jobs and this hasn't arrived yet, I can still reuse this because A, it's not too bad, and B, I'm not even gonna ride the bike, and we'll cross the bridge when we get to it anyway. Another part that I've got to rebuild but haven't received yet is this. This is the expansion chamber. Obviously it's the coolant expansion chamber, and this is the spigot. And I've ordered the O-ring, which has arrived, but I've also ordered a replacement, a new one of these, because as you can see here, it's cracked. So order one of these, hasn't arrived yet, so for the moment I'm gonna leave these for last. Next we've got bearings. These are string arm bearings. I didn't order them because I needed to replace the string arm bearings. I just thought, as the swing arm is out, I might as well just order them. If I need to replace them, I have them here. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep them there for a later time. Last bit is this is the clutch push rod with its O-rings, which was one of the parts that got damaged in the bike. And then that's it. So at the moment, these are the parts that I've ordered, plus those two parts that I've ordered and not received yet. So that this sleeve here and that speaker. So as I was saying, I can already start seriously building my bike. I'm saying seriously just because, again, on Instagram I've been posting pictures of the bike. I was being dry built, so I had it on a rolling chassis. So I had the main chassis, the subframe. I had the swing arm on it. I had the rear wheel. It was on the stand. I'd also put obviously the rear wheel spindle. I had the triple tree or triple clamp, whatever. I had its steering dampener, and I had most of the bodywork. So I had the tank on, I had the front fairing, obviously I had a headlight, front fairing, air intake, under trail or tail tidy, the tail, obviously the shock, the two mirrors. So effectively it was everything on apart from the main fairings. I did a dry build just to make sure that I had all the parts and I could spot whatever I needed to order, which I have. I have used my other crankcase or crankcases to test fit the kickstand, test fit on the other side as the rear brake pedal, and all of the assembly with the master cylinder, the pedal. So I've done all that just to make sure that everything that needed replacing was being ordered, and I think I'm probably 90% covered. Apart from those two parts, there's still something more that I still need to do. But especially on the bodywork, and it's minor details at the moment that I don't really need to tackle right now. So this is where I am. This is all the jobs that I've got to do, and I'm gonna start with potentially the stock bearings or the pivot, the rear shock pivot bearings. So effectively, bearings is going to be the name of the game right now, because it's the key component that you need to assemble or fit before you can put together some of the key parts. So headstock, if you don't know how it works on these bikes, is pretty neat actually, because this is obviously the bearing guide, I think it's called. But the good thing with Ducatis is that this whole assembly comes out, so you don't need to do all the work with the frame. You can just remove this cylinder here by, you need to just remove this locking bolt, and then there's a clamp here and one down there. Sorry, I know it's a bit uncomfortable for me, but one here, which, as you can see, it's got a cut in here, so undoing these bolts, it will release pressure from the walls of this part of the frame. And you've got this nut, this bolt that removes, and then you can literally slide this off and then you can do all your work on your bench without having to deal with this size frame. So it's pretty neat, if you ask me. I really like that. I really like the idea they had, and that also is and probably actually it's not only, or it's not at all to make it easier to replace the bearings. It's actually so that you can turn this thing 180 degrees if you put in race mode, if you will, or a setup. Then you're gonna, if you see, this is not concentric with this headstock. So if you turn in 180 degrees, these will go on the front and change all the geometry of the bike. Same with the steering dampener. That hole is for road setup. The front hole, considering that this is the front hole is for the race setup. So you can change the geometry very easily with these bikes, and set it up for track days or races if you want. Anyway, so that's one. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do the bearings here, so I'm gonna have to heat up these parts so that the bearings come out easy. I might use my press to, well, obviously to press the bearings in, but I might use it to remove one of the two sides. Once I removed one, then I can just stick something in, like a socket in, that goes onto the other one and push the bearing out, so as opposed to pulling out. I do have a blind bearing pulling set kit, which is the wrong way, which is this thing here, but this is a Chinese version, and for as cheap as they are, they're obviously not as good as the let's call them proper ones, but a good set of these will set you back 300 or 400 quid, whereas this is 50 quid. So obviously you get what you pay for, which means that they will eventually break. Hence why I want to try and use it as little as possible. I'm not sure I'll post a video of all this work, because there's plenty of videos on the tube. I might just get on with it, just do as much as I can, and then hit you up with another update later on. So this is my update. It's a good day. I'm really happy that the engine is back. Thanks for watching, guys. If you want any more videos on bearings or anything like this, just stick a comment down below. Let me know. Give me a thumbs up if you liked the video. If you didn't, just let me know what you would like me to do and what you'd like to be different, and how. I'll try my best to make it more enjoyable for you guys.